Okay, now it's time to administer the Service Cloud. So on this particular trail, we are going to look at the general overview of the Service Cloud setup. So we won't be like dive into all the nitty-gritty details, but a general overview of how you can access the Service setup and initially set up all the things that need to be set up to open the service to our staff and the customers. So let's go diving into our Trailhead Playground. I'm going to go over here. So we are on the setup. You can go to the specific service setup from this gear icon here. And then we have setup, which is this page, and service setup. So let's go to service setup. Now, this is the service setup. Now we have the recommended setup. We have the performance or the metrics of today, like how many cases closed that are solved, and then the usage of our Salesforce service licenses. You can drill here how many knowledge, how many chat, and our storage and other. So let's see what else. On the left here, you have the tree of all the service setup you can do. We won't be going through all of this, but you can dive into it like that and play around what can be set up. A lot there. Workflow actions and then user interface there. So you can just keep diving in. We won't be going through all of this one at a time, but this is just a general overview. So you have this one, recommended setup, performance, usage, the lifetime performance and metrics there, and that's pretty much it. Let's go back to our Trailhead. So we have 4 sections here. We just touch upon guided setup flows, which is this part here, and service metrics, how many cases and things like that. You can of course modify, customize whatever you see over here. Okay, and then the recommended setup, what we need to set up, right? And then setup 3, which is the menus on the left here. So we've discussed how to get to the service setup, and you can further customize how everything looks from the app manager here. So for example, if I go back to our Trailhead Playground, and let's go back to this one, and if I go to Service Console, like even the icons and things here, you can customize the utility bar at the bottom, how things look. So how can you customize that from the app manager on here? If I go here, app manager, and then I'm going to search for Service Console. So as Service Console here, Service Console, and I'm going to click the arrow over here and hit edit. Now we can even rename the app name from Service Console to anything you want. You can upload your own logo. So I'm just going to upload my Zone logo here. If I go here, I think I have a Zone logo here. Zone logo. Cool, right? I like the logo. Let's change this to black because it's matching the, it's the other way here. It's matching the logo. And you can go to the app options. Let me cancel and save this first. Now go to the app options. You can change this, what this app is for, just desktop only or desktop and phone. And then I'm going to keep that as it is, so cancel. So utility items is the utility you see at the bottom of the Service Console. It's just history here, right? So say I want to add something. Let's add something other than the history. So add utility item over here. So you can add a flow if you have created your own custom flow, macros for other automation. This is cool stuff, macros, but we can't discuss it here. It's going to be too long. You can add charts, visual force page, chatter feed. I'm going to just add chatter feed for now because that's the easiest thing. So chatter feed on there. I'm going to save this guy, and you can customize it. The width start automatically. It's going to pop up when people goes to Service Console, and then yeah. So I'm going to save this just to show you how you can add to your utility bar. So if I go back to my Service Console and refresh this, we should have our chatter feed there at the bottom. See? Chatter feed. Nothing so far because it's a blank Trailhead playground. Alright, so that's the utility bar, and then navigation items. You can add more stuff. So for example, we have cases, contacts, accounts, reports, dashboard, and home for now. That would be on oops, I was pinning that. Here, this is just the case. I'm gonna close that. So here, right? If I want to change to, or if I want to add stuff here, now right, if I go to contacts, it's going to show the contacts, right? So I'm going to add something that's not there already. Maybe, I don't know, award maybe. I'm going to add award now. I'm going to hit save. Go back here, and I'm going to refresh this guy. See, the logo also changes. Pretty neat, right? So I'm going to change this from contacts to awards. It's not showing yet. Sometimes it takes a few minutes after you make some changes. Did I save it? I think I did. Is there any save button here? No, it's good. There's navigation rules. Yeah. Navigation rules determine whether to open a related record in addition to the primary record. So you can define how the tabs work over here. Like I explained on the previous video, all the tabs related at the bottom here, right? Contacts and then accounts, it's at the bottom. So this is how you define it here. Account and then contacts, workspace tab for account, this one. And then user profiles, who can access this particular app. So all of these profiles can access it. And then the performance of this app, how it's doing. Okay, I'm going to refresh this again and see. Okay, it's not there yet, but that's fine. So that's how you can customize that. And when you're done, you just go back here. Okay, so that's like a really general high overview on how the Surface setup works. But there are lots of stuff to actually set up everything, right? We can't discuss that deep right now, and let's focus on the subject at hand. So we've discussed that, the App Manager customization, add some utility bar, change up some stuff, change the logo. You can do that. Now, this is the general setup process. First, you can set up your automate case management. If the case type is this, assigned to this team, right? If the case type is another type, assigned to that team. Things like that, where they will be queued on, all right? So multiple channels, so you can assign like to phone team, phone cases, email to your email team, so to speak. And then if it's from a website, where it should go, social media, or your own other channels that's not mentioned here, like mail, postal mail. And then you can also set up knowledge base to help the repetitive type of questions that's coming over and over again. And we have a pretty neat feature. Then your staff can just choose the answer that's being used for this type of question, specific answers, and just customize that a bit. And then you can also use AI. So AI will streamline more tasks and predict service before it's needed, which is pretty awesome, right? Okay, that's pretty much it. We're just touching the surface there, and we're gonna go deeper. Let's do the quiz for now. What are two key benefits of Lightning Service Setup? So this service setup itself, okay, the service setup. What are the main benefit of this service setup? This whole interface here. Prompt and social media flows, recommendation, email metrics, and home tab, service metrics, and setup flows. Yeah, service metrics, right, and setup flows. To get to the Lightning service setup, gear icon, and then service setup, which we just did. The second stage in the setup process for Service Cloud, the second stage, called add all case management features, add channels. So I think channels first and then case management, or I can, it can be as well channels first, but I think channels first and then case management. This is all later on. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I got it wrong. I think this is the second phase then. Case management first and then channels. Bada bing, bada boom. Hit that subscribe button and explore new Trailhead grounds and learn to implement the most useful and popular apps on the Salesforce App Exchange. And do yourself a favor, like this video, and you'll be surprised on how much more you understand when watching this same video after liking it. Don't take my word. Watch this one more time after you like the video and see it for yourself. Bada bing, bada boom.